everybody, and welcome back to the 12 Days of ComiXmas, where we enjoy comics and comic-related things with a holiday spin to raise money for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And for today's episode, I was inspired by yesterday's Christmas ornament adventure that took us to BlueBuddies.com, a Smurfs fan mega site, and I absolutely respect their dedication to catalog every single piece of Smurfs merchandise ever created. And that got me thinking that we should find something Smurfy to look at today, so I smurfed around for something fun. Last time I did the 12 Days of ComiXmas, I looked at another Smurfs comic called Little Peter's Christmas, where Gargamel roofies Santa, and then the Smurfs help a little boy who I'm pretty sure was just hallucinating his sick mother. Today we're going to be looking at the Ogre and the Smurfs, which is included in that same Smurfs Christmas collection. As our story opens up, Gargamel is on the hunt for the main ingredient in his famous Smurf chili, just like Grandma used to make, when suddenly he falls into the clutches of an ogre. I like how to the point the ogre is. He introduces himself, he states his business and his reasons. His standards aren't too high either, because Gargamel looks like if he ever tried to bathe in the local river, the results would be a Class A oil spill. But thinking quickly and impressing the ogre with his excellent gourmet taste, Gargamel suggests that the ogre perhaps try a Smurf to satiate his hunger instead. Ogres have an excellent instinct when it comes to finding a tasty meal, or at least so this guy says, and the ogre barely needs Gargamel's help in setting out on the road to the Smurf village. He's just carrying him along in case he needs a snack. He could probably wring out Gargamel's hair and use it as deep fryer grease. Word reaches the Smurf village that there's a hungry ogre on the way, and Smurf knows that doesn't bode well. Do you know how many Smurfs it takes to make a single Smurf haggis? I'm sorry, baby Smurf. That wasn't a nice joke. I'm sorry. Smurf is money. Silence is golden. What does that even mean? Well, Gargamel is the canary for anything that looks remotely dangerous on this trek. While this guy wildly mishandles his cat, the ogre hungrily considers another option for cooking the delicious Smurfs: pan fry some Smurf sausage. You've heard of Madag Yu, now get ready for Madag Blue. Or I guess it would be Madag Gorum. But then my joke doesn't work. And baby Smurf is crying again. I'm sorry, I'll stop with the Smurf eating jokes. Anyway, despite the rickety bridge, the deep chasm, and the quicksand, this ogre isn't deterred from his meal plans, and he's starting to think that maybe Gargamel isn't the paragon of honesty and good character that he thought he was. Papa Smurf, of course, knew that this would happen. He's got the comic script in his hands. By the time the ogre reaches the village, Papa Smurf is the only one left to face his fate, or Smurf his Smurf. But little does the ogre know that this wouldn't end well for him anyway. All that good sarsaparilla that the Smurfs love so much is deadly to ogres, and if he tried to eat them, he'd meet a nasty end. Or maybe Papa Smurf is just smurfing all of this out of his Smurf. I think the sarsaparilla would make them taste better, honestly, like a nice little marinade for a Smurf roast, getting some veggies in there. I'm sorry, I'll stop. At this point, the ogre is thinking that Gargamel led him on, and maybe that grease could just be blotted off with a napkin first. Why does Grumpy Smurf not like mushrooms? Dude, you live in one. Of course, I live in a house, and I wouldn't eat drywall. The Smurfs are more than happy to help lead the ogre back to Gargamel's house, along with some mushrooms for the gourmet soup. You have to skim all the scum out when cooking it, but it might be palatable in the end. So that concludes today's Smurfy story. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll smurf on down to the video description for links to my Tiltify page where you can donate to St. Jude's and get the 12 Days of ComiXmas coloring book. And provided that I haven't been kicked off of the Fallout for Hope team yet for making too many Smurf eating jokes, I'll see you tomorrow in the next episode.